Dance. Welcome on in, everyone. Thank y'all for being here. Welcome on in, Zeph and GTR. Glad to have you, Sweet Beans. Welcome on in, Slowed Panda and Cynic Deval. Glad to have you as well. Who else we got? Welcome on in, Big O Luxray. If you've not already followed, go give Big O Luxray a follow. They're very, very sweet. Welcome on in, Gwim as well. And Aquaporp, glad to have you too. I'm gonna rip up your bandwidth. You're so ISMA coded. Good to see you too, Grim. That's not gonna stop you from going into the crate, but also welcome on in, Cossack. Glad to have you. But it is Friday, which means we are doing some here. I have too many windows open. You know, they say that if you have like a certain number of tabs open, it's an indicator of depression. You know, I've long since you know, it exceeded the concepts of too many tabs and too many windows. But yeah, happy Friday! Congrats on making it through another week. We are working on this creature. Right about how dogs are greater than birds in both intelligence and cuteness. Welcome on, Rich. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. All right. You know, for all of the wonderful things that birds bring us, you know, the lovely view, the visage, the songs, there are some ways in which dogs, you know, could be considered superior, you know, and honestly are superior. For example, dogs are so smart, they're so good at listening, and you know, they're very, very cute, which makes them optimal pets. Whereas, you know, birds would be too, you know, stubborn, too strong-willed to, you know, to denigrate themselves. Dogs are the ideal for, you know, for having a companion, a buddy to carry with you throughout your life. You know, I feel like if for a pet, I would definitely prefer a dog. With optimal pets, I've been foiled. Once again, hoist by your own petard. Yes, Korg is a good reference. I still think Korg intro scene is the best scene in the MCU because of everyone's reaction to seeing Korg. Welcome on in, Mooney. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. All right. But you know, so I'm currently Currently trying to figure out how best to handle rock textures in this context. Because, like, to some degree, it's I think I'm going a little bit too hard on, like, you know, trying to make the edges all, like, rough. Can I break Zeph's femur? Go for it.
Spin.
I don't know what happened, but go for it.
Spin. 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 Spin.
Oh, you're trying to break Zeph femurs. Yep. My femur remains unbroken. Just keep going. Just keep spinning. Eventually you'll break Zeph's femurs. I forgot. I low-key forgot that was a sound effect that you could hit.
Spin. Spin.
There we go.
Spin.
Broke it. But yeah, happy Friday. Hopefully everyone's week's been good. Okay, we're getting somewhere. I'm liking this a little bit more now.
Rats, we're rats.
What's up, Crisp?
We're the rats.
Fun fact, Starky is actually slightly into Vor, but he just pretends he's not at all into it.
At what point does it stop becoming a fun fact and just start being a fact? I feel like there's like I feel like there's like a point at which like a fact is so well known that stops being like a fun little like Easter egg-esque, like, oh, I didn't know that. That's interesting. Okay, so none of this is also just gonna be like stops being a fun fact when it's not fun to tell due to your reaction. Yeah, like we all know Sturkey likes the thoughts of stepping on people, but no one really brings it up. Oh my god. You had one step easy mode and people never shut up about it. Earlier I hit someone with Kasai isn't real, he can't hurt you. Well, come on, Ash, I'll glad to have you, Sweet Bean. Okay. Earlier I hit someone with Cass isn't really can't hurt you. Cass from Breath of the Wild. That's downside. I wish Cass was real. I wish oranges were a real fruit. They look so good. Same. But welcome on, Astral. Give me a shout for Astral. How you doing, you sweet bean? Dun, dun. I'm lost inside this part of me. I realize I just can't stop, won't stop wasting all my time. Whoa, I know it's such an old cliche. Silly Zeph, oranges aren't fruit, they're just a color. Welcome on in, Kronos. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. I want to say that orange the color is based off of the fruit, not the other way around. I want to stare at your talons. We did so last year when we voted. Oh my god, no. Not the talon vote. Hey, listen, if you behave yourselves, I might I might show talons. Okay, fuck it. Here. There's gotta be like a stone texture in here. To the shredder. Do you think Starky's enough of Poppy? No, I do not have a fucking wiki feed entry. What if we didn't behave? You'd be sent to the gulag. You'd be sent to horny jail. Also, it's a little goober you're working on. This is part of the Borbify redeem. So this is a friend I made in college who hangs on the streams. And this is his tabletop RPG character that he played a lot. This is the character's name is Falknor. What's up, Crisp?
Starky, I had a shower thought. Do you think that vampires would make great cow ranchers, since milk is a derivative of blood?
What the fuck?
We're the rats.
What's up, Crisp?
So my mom wants to bake me a birthday cake this month, and I'm thinking red velvet. I'm groaning about how Google I says the original red velvet cakes used beetroot to color it, but my mom sides with the I and I hate, just simply hate.
Yeah, that's gonna fuck with the flavor. That's meaningfully gonna fuck with the flavor. It's a specific type of chocolate that's red. And then usually red food dye to, like, you know, to like help accentuate that effect. Oh, chocolate, I've been using blood. I mean, you can use blood as an egg substitute. That is like there's a fucking chart for like how much blood you need to use in place of specific amounts of eggs. Like fun fact. Red Velvet's overrated as fuck. I'm not a huge fan of Red Velvet. I'll be honest. I'm not like a huge chocolate person, to be fair. Okay, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm trying something. There was a good 20 years before red food dye existed where red velvet was naturally red. Apparently it was a little cocoa, cinnamon, and mint.
Rats. We're rats. We're the rats.
Who wants to take shots of vanilla extract dyed with red 40 with me?
That sounds awful. So the idea here is that I want it kind of like a craggly texture to it. And I think the best way to do that is just kind of like draw lines to kind of simulate wear and then figure out what lines I think would look good. How's that awful? Vanilla extract? You're taking fucking shots of that? That's terrible. That's fucking dreadful.
Rats. We're rats. We're the rats.
2 cups vanilla extract dyed red 40 all over Starky's carpeted kitchen counter.
I feel like at that point I'm legally allowed to shoot you. If you show up in my house and you do that, I'm legally allowed to take your life in my hands and do with it as I please. Okay, we're doing some funky shit. This is a trust the process situation. Ooh, puts carpet on your toilet seat? Why would you do that? I'll say it. If you put carpet on your toilet seat, I think you have a piss kink. just throw that fucking accusation there out of nowhere. Absolutely catching random people with strays. Carpeted bathtub. That's a mold kink. Vince, I'm sorry for your loss. It was short of such a tragic plot. Keep her in our arms. She freely walks. Jury's out for execution. Note how it ends. Crown the boundary of Ross and Dream. Irony put to sleep, so set the scene. It's her or me. Who's it gonna be? How do you know about this song? The Flavor Folly is a really, really well-known composer. Like that composer group. I'm so alive. It's an eye for an eye. Lethal injection, guillotine, electric chair. Baby, it'd all been so easy if I weren't there. Okay. Just, I'm very sure. The conscious case open and shut, await your honor. It's a noble cause. It's not like the victim's here to see your jaded justice done. Her dreams, her aspirations, one simple sentence from how you knew her, embellish your relation. Did I tell you about the newest escapade in my YouTube algorithm? No, what happened? Smile sparks a flame. Breathe. Trying saying that we don't feel the same. On the boundary of sight unseen. Irony lives and breathes, and it's in peace. It's her or me, baby, who's it gonna be? Alive for one, should I die? It forced the issue, what a waste of time. It's wrong, it's right, but God, I'm so alive. I sent this to a friend who is trans, and I do hope that they listen to it at some point, because this song being the new transgender icon song is actually amazing. You know how I unironically watch Furry Utao? Yes. I mean, to be fair, Furry Utao can slap. It can definitely slap. Fragile ego, adorned in scars. Did you know her? There's no this. It's crying in a force drawn low. Did you know her? If you do, they probably. Maybe you should. I sent it to your link. I did. I did, but I don't know if they ever actually watched it. I'm definitely very bird coded in that I'll just shove it a friend's DMs and drop a thing and then scurry away like a little creature, and I'd never follow up. Okay, so the thought here is I can kind of use this as basically texturing guides. Is because I'm trying to replicate some amount of wear patterning. Is mine. Basically treat this like another sketch layer, just one with. I decided to farm wash of that, and now I'm getting recommended furry MMDs. Hold up. Do I have that? Hold up. I got recommended a really, really good YouTube video that's very specific to my interests. Please tell me I can find it. Hopefully it's in my history. Nope. It is not, unfortunately. But I did, okay, not the video I was thinking of, but a different really, really good video. This is just canon and ultra kill. I do love the early 2000s emo boy cover of this song. So yeah, that's Ultra Kill. If anyone needed to be sold on Ultra Kill, that's the experience of playing Ultra Kill. Hold on, because I really want to find it. It was... okay, someone recently sent me a video of the of the Ultra Starmie, Mega Starmie dancing. What is the song called? I DM'd you the thumbnail, the kind of vids inventing my recommends. Ultra... Please tell me I can find it. And Loki, I'm afraid to do the Ryan Toys review Gambit. After what happened last time, you probably shouldn't. What the fuck is this? I feel like this is meaningfully dangerous for me to put on screen. Welcome on, Matthias. Good to have you, Sweet Bean. This is what you started getting in your YouTube recommendations? I'm not fucking watching the video, but the thumbnail is probably fine. we gotta talk about your YouTube habits, Kasai. You need better hygiene. Oh, here it is. It was 24 Hours Cinderella. This is the highest quality. It's stuck at 360. Incredible. But also, I did see another one that I really, yeah, here it is. The Ultra Kill fandom is deeply unhinged. To be fair, if you've played the games, you know why they're unhinged. He pulls out the coin. The fandom is very normal. Did you need to purge my watch history a little bit? Oh yeah. Gianni Matragrano is they aced the casting call for that one. Because Gianni is a deeply unhinged person. And and he's also willing to say fucking anything if you pay him. He fucking read the uwu rap while in the Gabriel Ultra Kill voice, and it was the most fucking mind-searing thing that I've ever seen. So goddamn funny. But anyways, lining. How's everyone else's weekend? Anyone got anything fun planned for the weekend? I actually don't have anything fun planned for the weekend because I'm just going to be using it to like rest up and recover from an otherwise relatively busy week. Taxes? Understandable. I did my taxes very early. My weekend is just looking at apartments as my lease ends this month. Oof. Machine, please. I don't want to orange justice anymore while you scream, "Go, white boy, go!" If I ever got into voice acting, I a fucking 1000% would do that kind of shit. My weekend is a job interview? That's good. Is it too late to drink an energy drink? Probably. I'm trying to, because like something's I feel like something's weird with my drawing setup. So like I'm struggling to draw, which is fucking, I don't know, sometimes it just hits. Kosai is trying to kill me in my party in D&D with cursed copper that kills you if you grab it. For safety, I already threw all my copper coins a well just in case. That's when you give them an item that that has a 90% accuracy rate and determines whether or not copper will kill you on a touch. And then you make your players extremely paranoid by making everything out of copper. Starky made parties overly paranoid when I try to give them loot. As they should be. To be fair, I'm the kind of person where I'm like, even if it's cursed, I will touch an item because it gives the DM more to work with. Sometimes you just gotta touch shit. Like that's ill-advised because it gets you plot. It gives you lore. You're not the it's trauma that is not exclusively building your character, but is building everyone's character. Shared trauma. But also, I guess it's fair I say that, but I'm also very much the kind of player where I'm like, under no circumstances do I ever trust the Fae. My friend was running a D&D campaign with me and some friends, and it's fascinating how much of the plot has just been a player does not understand how you need to deal with Fae creatures. Because multiple combats at this point have been a result of someone making a deal with the Fae, with a Fae court, and the Fae court is just causing problems. Me when I lie to try to get a party member death. Starky touching stuff as an art gallery is also lore, but it's not worth it as you just get fucked over. I mean, yeah, but that's real life consequences. There's a difference between real life and in-game. Starky, with the way you play, I presume you keep at least 3 backup characters on hand? No? I just trust that the DM is going to do something interesting instead of just kill my character. I guess it depends. It depends on who's DMing. Because if it's a DM that I know is going to let me do dumb shit, and is going to just like kind of like not necessarily reward it, but is just going to run with it, I will run the solo character, but otherwise I will have backups. What the Frank Sinatra My Way Ultra Epic version? I'm gonna be honest with you, this song didn't need this. And every byway, but more, much more than this, I did it my way. Regrets. Now I never fucking mind. But then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do. And ask my players to at least throw me concepts of backup so I can provide adequate backups in case someone jumps into a volcano. Well, come on in, Marms. Glad to have you, sweet bean. Oh, here's the thing. Like, if the like, I'm willing to play dumb characters. I'm not willing to play suicidal characters, if that makes sense. Like, if the DM gives me the sense that it's like doing this is going to just lead to character death, I'm not going to do the thing. But like anything else is like that's on the table. Welcome on in, Phoenix. Glad to have you, Sweet Pea. We're talking about D&D characters. I'm to be honest with you, there's a bunch of D&D characters I want to run still. My current character is he's a fluffy. Actually, hold up, I still have that. I think it was definitely 2024. Oh yeah, here it is. Rower Shiro. Shiro. I do love Shiro. He's a fluffy doggo who happens to have the powers of an Eldritch Fey Court. I love D&D. I can't wait for our sessions to start again. The My Way cinematic. Welcome on in, Jojo the Joe. But no, I love you look at this guy and you're like, that's just a creature. And then he barks and the fucking like tentacles come out of his mouth and fucking rip your skin asunder. This is also like he's the dumbest character I've ever ran, and B, he's oh, you're so cool. I'm skinny, by the way. Thank you for that information, I suppose. Rhymes, I'll just stare at the monsters. But no, he's just a little dum-dum. Also, he is the most true neutral character I think I've ever ran, because he has no guiding principles besides what is needed to get a mission done. There is no concept of good or evil or chaotic or orderly in him. There is merely actions that are taken. Good or evil matters not to a little scrunkly gremlin. Exactly. Well, that and his first memory is being awakened, is being basically given sapience by a court of fake creatures. So I encouraged someone else to RP in this IRL D&D group, and she verbally harassed an orphan child. I will say, okay, I will say that I had the best interaction with Shiro. I play a lot of Good Boys when I found, which I found makes them prime corruption targets. But no, when I was playing with this guy, we were playing with Phoenix's brother, who hasn't really played a ton of D&D, and all of his DMs were very by the books, no creative expression. So one of our party members shows up, and she's just like, I have a dog now. And he's like, okay, fine. The dog can come in, but he can't have any of the biscuits. And I just looked at him. I just perfectly timed, looked deep in his soul, and I'm like, I can't have any biscuits. What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? I can't have any biscuits. I'm sorry. And and he looked at me, looked away, looked back at me, and I think the realization settled in at that point. He's like, "You're playing the dog?" and then we had to take a 5-minute break after that point, because he just walked into the kitchen and flopped on the ground out of disbelief. It was so fucking funny. But because I came from my first tabletop RPG was a very, very home-cooked system where just about anything was possible. So I don't have in my mind, I'm there's no limits to what you can do in a tabletop RPG besides what the DM is willing to be patient about. Once you've exhausted DM's patience, at that point there's limitations. Well, come on and Fine Point. Glad to have you, Sweet Bane. So I was very much yeah, I'm just gonna play a dog. I don't know. I feel like playing a dog. Me when I am Buppy. Hexblade Warlock, but the human is an awful person being possessed by a kind sword spirit. Reminds me of the I've heard about like murder hobo warlocks that are like chaotic evil, but then they have like a lawful good patron who's like, if you want your powers, you can't kill the orphans. And like that's how you can run a chaotic evil character in a otherwise good aligned party. I think my character is going to die sometime as he is the mentor figure. So I'm brainstorming his backup. That's fair. I mean, to be fair, mentor-style characters don't necessarily need to die in tabletop RPGs. Because it's not like they're necessarily, like, representing an issue. It's just, like, it just is a group dynamic. And I think, like, I genuinely think party dynamics are, like, one of the cooler things about tabletop RPGs. Is that like you can just have a group of people that's very... I would join the art vibes, but my tablet needs charging. Work was long. Understandable. And all good. I appreciate the thought, though. I did a little bit of cleaning up, and I'm a lot happier. A lot of this is texture work for me to try and figure out like roughly how I want the like weathering of the rock to look. So... But like the, you know, smoothing out some of the lines a little bit while keeping like, you know, the kind of erratic general shape did a lot to like actually make it look like it's still rocky textured, but playing off of other players is so gratifying. Oh, it absolutely is. There's nothing quite like the hit of like having a really positive... I'm sorry, I got fucking stunlocked by the fucking Dalai Lama synthesizer in this song. But no, like there's nothing for me quite like the hit of like having a really really good like RP interaction in like a, you know, a tabletop RPG group setting. Sounds Friday Night Funkin'. It's because it's there's a synth that it kind of like recreates the effect of like monk chanting. Playing off of other... My character is legit hosting the spirit of Nyarlathotep. I will say, like, there's a ton of characters that I do want to like. I love going ham on a character that's outside my comfort zone. All of my characters end up being a reflection of myself in some way. I do have like I have an idea for a character that I really, really, really want to play. So the idea is, the crux of the idea is like mage who trusts magic as much as software designers trust their code, which is to say absolutely not at all. Oh, welcome on in, Hayden. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the live chat. Glad I have Sweet Bean. I've been pied. I can look through the pie. You can see my, there we go. But no, the reason that he doesn't trust his fucking magic is because he's a wild magic sorcerer, and sometimes shit just happens. And then it flavor every single interaction, like it's like every time wild magic happens, it's because something went wrong with the casting. You have bugbear rogue / bard vibes. I could definitely see Marms kind of in that role. Actually, my last few characters were a rogue. My new one's a fighter. They're all kobolds. I was just like, bug. I was like, I kind of want to say something a little bit smaller. I was thinking like goblins, but kobold makes a lot of sense as well. Where I'm like, you give like wants to be a small little guy who's picked up and carried away vibes. No, it's not. It's the pie happens whenever we get a new follower. The pie is not related to anything in chat outside of a new follow. I just said bugbear because of Monokuma. Well, you have to remember, Marms wants to be impregnated by Monokuma. Marms doesn't want to be Monokuma, which technically would put you at like a goblin, you know. You see, Starky understands me. I do understand you. I'm used to dealing with cursed information, so I am capable of processing people's desires. Which is funny because bugbears have nothing to do with bears. Yeah, they're technically goblinoids, right? Yes, sir. Goblin these noids. Exactly. Starky, welcome on a lead croak. Let have you, sweet bean. But how you holding up? But no, like, I need to like investigate and see if I can get like if I can come to some, you know, understanding in regards to Pathfinder 2nd Edition, because I feel like that's the system I want to run. I like a system with crunch, but not like so much crunch where it becomes like combat turns into a nightmare. Because I like it when it feels like the way that you've built your character actually matters. It's like a fine like it's kind of a fine line to tread, and I've heard good things about Pathfinder 2nd Edition in regards to that, where it's like it's crunchy. Like your character stats do matter, but they're not like so over, you know, it's not so like profoundly detailed that like you have to get in the weeds for everything. Mark showed me this Yu-Gi-Oh style card game TTRPG that I really want to run. That sounds interesting. Maybe we should do a neutral good character next. I wish I was familiar with D&D. I mean, you could always just like, there's a lot of online resources. But in Pathfinder stats go burr. That's a problem though, is like Pathfinder 1, the stats go burr a little too hard. Want me to drag you to a game shop so you can look at the books? I'm good. I mean, the big thing is just like finding the time and motivation to like look through the 2nd edition like resources online. And reasonably, I think the unfortunate fact is like, so it kind of is funny. The reason that I started streaming, in part, was because I wasn't necessarily like I tried to get into a bunch of D&D games with friends, but they all had a bunch of games running, and so I felt like I couldn't, like I didn't really have a social outlet in a time period where I was like very much just like only looking, like only working. I worked wholly remotely. I didn't get out of my house except to go grocery shopping. So like there was nothing for me to do in regards to like socializing. And so I started streaming, and now that I'm streaming, I'm like, I kind of want to play D&D, but I don't have the time. It would need to turn into a stream thing. I kept offering. Okay, but that was like after I'd already started streaming as a regular thing. It was like at that point where I'm like, suddenly now I'm too busy. And before, I remember asking a couple of times before that happened and being told, it's like, I like, you know, I completely understood and empathized, and like, you know, it's like, don't get me wrong, it's not a knock. It's more just like you were busy with your campaign, Draco's campaign. I think Imaginary was running one. You know, like I think you had like, that was before you even got to like campaigns with some of your other friends like Zeb. I can drag you into something else if you want. Maybe. Welcome on to Ruffles. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. But, you know, I'm to some degree, I'm tempted to, like, run a tabletop RPG campaign as a stream. We can talk about a post-stream for sure. Although I do have plans yet tonight with a couple of people. Welcome on to Gigantic. Love you, Sweet Bean. Can we show for Giganta? Oh, thank you for the tier subscription for 29 months. Enjoyed the doing the emos, you Sweet Bean. How you holding up?
Starky 17 griddy.
Happy Macro March.
17 griddy. Starky 17 griddy.
I need to figure out what I'm doing for Macro March. It might be the case where I just like commission DA. Macro March has been good for me this year. We're eating good. I didn't realize that you were a Macro fan, but that does check out. I think you might have made some comment to that effect previously, where it's like when you, because you realized that I was also a Macro fan. Question: does this Chibi Falconor have the Vatican pocket? No, this Chibi Falconor cannot magically nuke the Vatican. I'm happy to help you in fulfill this urge if I'm not involved in the game itself. That's fair. I appreciate it. And like I said, like, you know, in no ways is that like meant to be like, oh, like, you know, a subtweet or like, you know, it's more just like kind of like an acknowledgement of like the complication that is, it's like, it's the nature of tabletop RPGs that they are a planning nightmare always. But no, like, I'm trying to think if I've seen any macro art so far. I mean, I've seen a little bit in the lead up, but nothing like too you know, macro oriented. Which to some degree I consider a bit of a shame, but there's time. You know, the month just started. I suppose like I need to add my my contribution to the the celebration. My friend is telling me I play Minecraft like an orc. In that like you just go out there and smash things. And that when the create mod has an extendo piston, I viscerally hate it. You're telling me you don't create the the fuck machine 9000 with the extendo piston in your create mod worlds? You could hear from that chuckle that I'm like, should I say this? And then I said, fuck it, I'll say it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't do create mod Minecraft anymore ever since I discovered the you know, higher level, the shall we say the you know, pure crack to the cocaine that is create mods of Cracktorio, i.e. Factorio. And it seems I've accidentally inflicted that on a friend. Starky, you have a problem? I don't have a problem. I do have a problem, and the problem is the factory's not big enough yet. Create machines do not engage with pistons. I've been a Factorio fiend lately. The factory must grow this exactly. To be honest with you, I kind of want to get to like Factorio mods, but I feel like that's definitely the kind of thing that would threaten to consume my entire life. Like that is the kind of rabbit hole that would consume my entire existence if I fell down it too hard. I'm not into inflation, but yeah, Kasai. Is this the segue we're going with? Did someone mention mods? Yeah, Factorio mods. You know, where like I did like the cube mod, where your entire factory depends on the existence of a infinitely dense hypercube. The factory must expand. Have you done much of the Space Age DLC yet? I was doing it on stream. I got pretty far in. I spent a lot of time off stream figuring out a ship that could consistently make it to a kilo, and that's where I kind of stopped off. And I'm tempted to just like go back and finish it because I was pretty close. Considering at some point the logistics of like, you know, a kilo is just like how well can your interplanetary logistics support, you know, a planet that otherwise is like not necessarily conducive to existence. I never really got into Factorio/Factorio mods. But Cameron, the trees can hate you. I love the mod that turns trees into an enemy faction. Welcome on Tails Dog. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. Thank you for the save reminder. I've yet to make it to there. I'm still wrestling with Gleba. Gleba made a lot more sense to me when I realized that you're just going to so Gleba, you just have to build in some amount of functionally sewage processing. And I ended up doing everything with basically sushi belts. I don't like the forced fighting of the roly-polies. You can just disable them. You can just, you know, preemptively silence the bugs from existence. The pentapod enemies scare me. Oh, don't get me wrong. That is entirely valid. But you can, we've had this conversation like 4 times. We've had this conversation like 4 times of us being like, yeah, you can disable the enemies. And the only difference is you don't get the like achievements like on Steam and like, you know, so you can play Factorio with me. I'm already like one of the things I had planned for tonight was like a friend invited me because he's learning to play Factorio, and I'm like, I will literally teach you how to play Factorio. The heck are you guys talking about? Factorio. Keep up. Like I don't like how it does infinite limited resources. You can fix that with a mod. Or you can just like increase patch richness, so it has like each patch has like 300 times the materials, and you don't have to do it nearly as often. The fact that enemies scale on total pollution rather than exposed pollution just violates me so bad. Oh shit, we're about to run our first ad break. We run this every hour to turn off pre-rolls, so we don't have to deal with the ads as soon as they join the stream. Feel free to go grab a snack, go grab some hydration. We'll be here when you come back. Stargate mods are not supposed to be answered to everything. How am I on the side of not using mods and you're on the side of using them? Who the fuck are you? How are you going to say that mods aren't the answer to everything when you consistently mod, not even like you are consistently modding multiple orders of magnitude more content into Skyrim than the base edition has? If you do somehow run out of resources, you can move to, you can find new patches. The map is gargantuan. Well, that's the thing. He doesn't like setting up the mining outpost, presumably because he's never made it to the point where he gets robots that just do the building for him. Marms, what the fuck is this? Love Shack trigger. Hold up, let me see if I can find the more cursed remix of this. Can Starky eat the cheese of the stream? No, leave it on. No, once this is done, I'll put on the Neil C. Siriga version. Here, I will balance the world. I restarted. Now I'm doing 625 mods Stardew Valley run. That's a lot of mods. There's 194 giftable NPCs on day one. That sounds like a fucking fever dream. That sounds like information overload so hard. That sounds like hell. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. It's like that sounds miserable. This is really awkward. Welcome on in RC. Glad to have you, sweet being. Give me a shout for RC. Listen, no worries at all. It happens to me all the time. Where like I'm like, I thought I was following you, and then I follow, and I'm like, don't acknowledge the follow. Don't do it. Don't. We don't gotta do it. Welcome on RC. How you doing, you sweet bean? If you guys like big soft tiger men who play Final Fantasy 14, go give RC a follow. Also, yeah, it's been a hot minute. Do you still play Dead by Daylight? Because I definitely remember you playing a lot of that when I was stopped by. Did you say soft? Very soft. I had the pleasure of giving RC a big hug at MFF in suit, and he was very soft and very squishable. All right. But yeah, hopefully you're having a good you hopefully had a good week, and you're ready for a nice fun weekend. This weekend for me is mostly just going to be cooking. It was soft RC. Yeah, sorry. I've been very soft. A big fan of big soft. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think like you have the platonic ideal of like what I think a good tum is. I think if I had that tum and like I could just bulk up, that would be like the ideal figure. Very you know, dad bod coated is kind of what I'm hoping for. Or like a you know off-season body, but not off-season bodybuilder, but with like more tum. I will steal your donuts. I will feed the donuts too. You don't gotta steal them. Can I song request a song that you're allowed to skip if it gets too bad? Go for it. Anyone miss the time loop? No. No one misses the time loop. I do. I miss the time loop. I do, you really? Maybe I could bring the time loop back, just increase its cost. I want to break the record. Okay, well, we need a time loop that's worse. I love how it drove you nuts. I miss gua stacking. The gua stacking is something that, like, you know, that was genuinely pretty funny. To be fair, I do have a plan of bringing something back that's very, like, it's not going to be the exact same, but it will be very, like, similar. I just need to find the time to sit down and, like, really, like, figure out the details around that. I want to chain redeem together for unintended effects, but since you got rid of the time loop, I was able to save it for Borb Faulkner. So anyways, now that you've experienced Love Shack Devil Trigger, here's Love Shack Psycho theme. What's the matter, Marms? You don't love the Love Shack? It's a very normal place. Only the most normal people go to the Love Shack. I don't know why, but this is unironically kind of a banger, and I think that's a sign that my brain is just broken. This is the sound of divorce. Hold up, hold up. Hold up. Where is it? Where's Dell? All right, I've sent Dell with the context that that could be the new divorce command. But funnily enough, this is like, fun fact, the person who made this is the same person who made the Ultimate Showdown of Ultimate Destiny. And also Harry Potter Puppet Pals. Huh? Yeah, that's all Neil C. Ciariga. The dude is a fucking meme lord. They have range. This is not safe for TJ. Just a bit. Back in my day, we played tic-tac-toe on Starky's forehead while stuck in a time loop. Shut the fuck up. Anyways, I think I've had enough of that song. Here's Rasputin. Yeah, no, Neil C. Ciariga is a very bizarre individual, and I want to understand him as a creature. He's definitely some type of music-related cryptid. I love how Shin Megami Tensei handled Rasputin. I only played Shin Megami Tensei 4, and I only got, like, probably a third of the way through the game. Because, like, I won't lie, I struggle with RPGs. I struggle with RPGs in the same way that I struggle like MMOs, I think. Where I'm like, it's just like such a big time commitment for a thing that I don't feel like I'm like... I feel like I like... Oh, let's start getting a 3DS. But I feel like it's the kind of thing where it's like I never got... How do I describe it? The struggle is I spend so much time, but a substantial, like, the gameplay never gets super interesting to the point where I actively feel like engaged. Because I feel like at some point it just turns into a game of like, it's not like you're actively thinking, you're just kind of like mashing the most powerful move you have. I recommend Bug Fables. I mean, yeah, the Claire Obscure, Bug Fables, Super Mario, like Paper Mario series, where like you can press things during your opponent's turn, helps a lot with that, actually. Bug Fables slaps. I've heard good things about it for sure. I've also seen porn of it. Main trio of 3 goobers. Okay. But, you know, I've heard a lot of good things about it. I think there's like... so it's Bug Fables and the Eternal Sapling, right? Or is that the sequel? Yep, okay. Yeah, that's the one. I need to give it a try at some point for sure. I think I have it on Steam. I won't lie, like my backlog currently is kind of in a weird place. Welcome on in, Super Ziek. Oh, I do have Bug Fables. I got it in 2023 apparently. I was once shown Kinker Sister X Noelle fan art. That sounds like trauma. Did the Shin Megami Tensei version of, like, is the Shin Megami Tensei version of Rasputin just, like, functionally, like, is he just incredibly fucking tanky? I do love the wet ass pussy version of Rasputin that ends with "Oh, those Russians." Wet ass pussy. Okay, now I need to figure out like a texture brush. Shin Megami Tensei Rasputin is a horny cyborg who just summons stuff to fight you. I really need to sort through the shit that I have here. It's done. Welcome on, Corvette Bubble. Glad I guess weeping. Congrats on you were putting in like a motion, right? Something for your law classes. Congrats on surviving that. 8 hours later. Oh God. The wonderful world of legal stuff. Maybe gauche? Maybe some gauche? Well, there were animated feet. Well, there was animated feet holding, and while I won't kink shame, I will kink ask why though. I have to kink explain to folks too much IRL. I mean, a lot of the times kinks just break, like, you know, bring down to once human interaction, but in a specific way. Oh, Mooney, thank you for the tier and subscription for 29 months. Enjoy the ad for you and the emotes, you sweet bean.
Starky 17 Borb 29 months. Starky 17 Borb.
Oh, and just to make it like clear, because like there was something in the news like something that an event that occurred recently. Under no fucking circumstances are any of you to harass someone based on like kink stuff that specifically involves like, you know, like consenting like adults. I feel like that's the kind of thing where it's like, I don't expect that it's going to be, you know, like I don't expect that that's going to be necessarily a hot take, given the fact that I very much try to, you know, have a community area where like we all try to understand and respect each other. But yeah, like there was an event that occurred recently where someone was just being real fucking weird about shit, about someone being into a kink that they didn't feel comfortable with. And, you know, don't do that. Don't do that. It's not hard to not be weird to people that you don't want to be around. This is a furry drama thing. Yeah, so there was a furry who no, don't need to explain. Fair enough. TLDR, a lot of death threats and violence threats were sent to both a person and a convention that was hosting him as a guest of honor, because he was into ABDL. And like, ABDL is not at all my kink. I personally don't like it, but also like, it is fucking free. It costs $0 to not harass him about it. So just don't do that. Easy peasy. If you don't like the kink, you can always just step away till it moves on. I think that's the thing. Like, I think there is, you know, I think that the ability to moderate your own response to things that you kind of find displeasing is like a very important skill that I feel like, you know, maybe a certain like subset of individuals don't really understand as well as they could. Is there no fucking stabilization for any of these brushes? Oh, this is a Ghost Blender. Diaper stuff is the threshold where I will remove myself from the situation ASAP, but I have zero ill will towards those folks. Exactly. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, you are the adult. But most free cons that hold a nightclub anyways will have us wearing... I mean, you know what you're expect... Like, that's the thing. It's like, you're walking into an area where you know that you can expect to see some kink-oriented clothing. I would say it's unreasonable to be like, oh, I'm going to go to the furry convention rave, and like, I'm going to be upset if I see anyone who has any sort of kink representation. At that point, you're the asshole. I think I read that wrong. Let's see. There we go. I think because I kind of want to like do like a little bit of texture stuff. Just a little bit. They says put me in the horny box. What did you do? Nothing yet. Who are you drawing, Starky? So this is a little rock golem creature for a friend who managed to save up enough points to be orbified. So I'm currently trying to figure out how I want to do like texture work, because it is one of those things where it's like, welcome, my magic guy. Thank you for the borb. I haven't been killed yet, so you know it was a bit overdue. How you doing though? Happy Friday. Little guy. Yeah, he's just a little creature. It's so funny because like I like okay, I see how it is. I see how it is. Happy Friday, Starky. I'm doing pretty well. Got a decent amount of work done today. Hell yeah. Congrats. But no, all right. So it's the fucked up version where it's playing backwards and forwards at the same time, right? Cooking them all, but it's reversed yet playing forwards. That's the one. Hey, Starky, looking forward to the weekend? I'm definitely looking forward to this weekend. It's the first weekend in a hot minute I've got a chance to relax. But no, this little creature. What's that one copy pasta? This little son of a bitch. This little son of a bitch sent a magic nuke off in the Vatican City. There was a game because so Rock Golem was primarily a mage, if memory serves. So very smart, but player who ran Rock Golem, very silly, very goober, very creature. He never thought about the consequences of his actions, and one time someone was like, hey, can you bring this into the Vatican with you? And it was a very suspicious item. And he just like, yeah, sure, I'll do that for you without asking any follow-up questions. And yeah, he basically ended up purging an entire city's worth of holy magic. I don't know how he ended up getting out of that situation without getting killed. I'm gonna be honest. I'm rude. I haven't watched Mr. Labrador live since September. I mean, I'm assuming he's probably been like, he's probably been busy. The back rooms of Minecraft is blended into an airport into a suspicious number of dreams. Also, remember we said no, no, like, I'm freed from the box. Enjoy your freedom from box. Mr. Labrador does stream, I just don't follow him. That's good information. But also, why are you telling me that? You to watch Goobert draws a reward from Fish and Motion? Hell yeah. Song kind of a vibe, to be honest. Yeah. Here. Turn the brush density down a bit. Oh, wait, hold up. I usually prefer my follows sometimes because there are some folk who haven't streamed since 2021. I mean, that happens. I'm gonna be honest with you. There's no fucking way. I'm following probably like 4 digits worth of people. Ain't no fucking way I'm going through all that shit. That is too much effort. Easy breezy. I hit some cap because I had to unfollow some people to follow new people. Oh my god. That's intense, actually. Welcome on, Shadow Cam. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. You really know these songs, Turkey? I mean, not really. I'm aware of exactly one line in this song, and that's the Easy Breezy. I did not see Izokun? Izokun? Keep your hands off of Izokun. Watch it, Izokun? Yeah, that's the one. Got all my arts done for tonight, so I shall sleep. Y'all beans have a nice night. For sure, thanks for stopping by, Marms. Have a good night's rest. And hopefully you have a good weekend. I'm assuming this is the one. We need to start an anime night. That's a terrific idea. I mean, that sounded sarcastic, but I do like meaningfully agree. The problem is like I don't necessarily know what my time, you know, my like free time is gonna look like. You can handle the okay part of the song. Yeah, because I know it gets worse from there. You've added that song to queues before. Doing well, slept decently this time before a gaming sesh. Crashed out yesterday due to only 3 hours of sleep hours of three hours of sleep daily for a week. Gonna do a lurk. Hope you and chat have for sure. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully get more good rest. Although, good God, 3 hours of sleep for a week definitely seems like it would mess me up. I'm not like super enthused with how this is going. This might be one of the situations where like I need to add like a kind of a blur filter to hide my sins, but also like to kind of like make the thing look a little bit more cohesive. What is this from? This is from Kiss. What is the Kiss Kiss Fall in Love again? The chemicals. All right. Oh, Lord Almighty. I realize now, I think part of like why some of this texturing might look a little bit odd is because I kind of need to like fill in this space more. Because this is kind of like where the various parts of the rock kind of like meet and conjoin. I mean, yeah, this is just like, this is not, to some degree, this is just the nature of like the 4-5-1 chord progression being so ubiquitous. This isn't necessarily like, you know, this isn't musical thievery. This is just using a cliche. Is that fucking Sonic music? Na 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 na. Oh, Snack Rack, thank you with the follow. Welcome to Live Check. What have you, Sweet Bean? All right. Is this Deltarune music? It sounds like Toby Fox, but I don't recognize it, so. Nope, it's from Dust Force. Oh, that makes sense, actually. You see the webtoon that starts with Scooby vomiting mayonnaise, and then once Shaggy loses an arm, it turns into a shonen battle manga? That sounds about right. So Kasei is a Mayo kink, right? Absolutely. I think Kasei will try to argue the point, but I think it's easier to understand if we just attribute it kink status. It's either a non-sexual kink or hyperfixation. Welcome on in, Z. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. How are you holding up? It's just easier for my brain to interpret it if I assume that it's a kink of some description. Isn't spicy pork skins and doused in hot sauce a problem for future me? I'm sure you'll be very enthused with that decision tomorrow when you're on the toilet. But that does sound tasty, so you know. At least you got to enjoy that. Rock texture is annoying. I don't even necessarily know if I'm doing this right. I think I need to have it like interact more with the edges a little bit to like help kind of sell the idea. This is a rock golem-esque creature. I've been diagnosed with kink again. Stop being weird about mayonnaise. If you don't want to be diagnosed with kink again, stop being weird about mayonnaise. Oh my god, is it terminal? I'd rather perish. Well, the problem is you're making it a bit too evenly spaced. It's looking like a flat pattern. Well, shit, that's as far back as it goes. Compared to the way the ref image looks. I guess that's fair. It's more of like whole chunks. Something a little bit more like this. I think it's kind of like what you're suggesting. Oh, come on, Nilianos. Good to have you, Sweet Bean. So, like, you know, not quite so thoroughly detailed is kind of the idea. And also, probably keep in mind that there's, you know... Hope you're doing well. I'm doing all right. Currently trying to figure out rock textures, and it's very difficult. What's the word, my bird? Welcome on Eagle Jalapeno. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. The heck is that? A rock golem. It's so cute. That actually makes me extremely happy to hear. I'm very much overthinking. It's so the idea is this is the Orbify for someone who is not a furry. And he wanted me to do his tabletop RPG character, which is a rock golem. So I'm taking the rock golem and I'm trying to like almost plushify him. I'll take 5. I'm not late, you're early. Welcome on, Darv. Glad to have you, sweet bean. Can we just shout out for Darv, by the way, if one of my mods is available? Would you drink ranch, by the way, if it were in a soda? If you paid me money, probably. But how you doing, Darv? Good to have ya. So it's trying to capture like the it's a fine balance, is because you're trying to get like a specific level of detail going, basically. How about you? Doing okay-ish? Still recovering? I'm doing okay as well. I got through the workday, which is the big thing. You know, like getting through the workday is like the big thing that like helps, you know, make any day go a little bit more smoothly. You know, add in the gaps and small details after you do the basic shapes. Yeah, because it's just something. Yeah, that's kind of like the good way of thinking about it. Is like you're kind of constructing a low polygon model almost. Why are we putting in One Direction? Hello, Bird. Followed you from a Catman stream. Well, welcome on, Snack Rack. Let have you, sweet bean. Oh, speaking of Catman. Dell has not responded to my message. Welcome on, though. Glad to have ya. We're currently chilling and drawing a little rock golem creature. What does the breakthrough redeem do? It gives you you basically get VIP for the channel. What is who is putting these songs in my queue? No secrets. What is this, Phoenix? Like it's on the channel? No. Welcome on in, Boggy. Glad to have you, sweet bean. Could a shout for Bog or not? How you holding up? Hopefully got good sleep. Happy weekend for you. No Radio Disney. It definitely does give Radio Disney energy. I woke up too early. You play cursed shit? I play good music. I play good music until someone reminds me of a curse thing, and then I play the curse thing for a bit. But otherwise, I play curse music. Or I play normal music. Thanks for the shout. No problem. I will say, this is definitely going a lot better. In terms of, like, selling the idea that this is a rock golem. This looks a lot more rock texture-y. I like golems? Yeah. That reminds me of a human heart. It's like, it's very, like, shark. Like, because this is the original reference. So I was kind of going for shark. For me, I'd give him a zigzag mouth. I kind of tried to do that. You had some stone things to help sell the shark. That's actually not a bad idea. Yeah, so what time is it for you, Boggy? So I don't know what time zone you're in. I know you usually go to bed at like noon our time. I think I might have found a good room to move to. Ooh. Like geo things since Godel are in rocks. GMT +8, so it's 9 a.m. now. So yeah, that would put you... I have no idea time zones. Probably like somewhere in Russia or Asia. Feel free to tell me if I'm like, you know, if you don't want to answer that, don't feel like you have to. Southeast Asia side. Okay, I was right. I don't know why. I always thought you were I thought you were like Eastern European. That's very weird of me. Welcome on in, Zero. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. Hola. Hola. Capitalism being anti-art. I can do that quite easily, actually. If there's one thing capitalism is good at, it is fucking commodifying anything, and definitely one of the things that is by no means an exception is art. But the problem is, like, actually expressive art that means to, like, challenge preconceptions, like, that stuff ends up being too challenging for capitalism. Capitalism is intrinsically anti-art because it's trying to sell you something fundamentally, and if what you're trying to sell isn't something people are willing to buy because it is in some way like controversial or difficult to like come to terms with, then yeah, of course it's possible that that censorship is an inevitability for any sort of artistic expression under under capitalism, because it's baked into the like structure of what capitalism is and wants to be. Also, I accidentally kicked hold up a moment. I accidentally kicked the one of my monitors loose. So chat, behave while I go ahead and put on the music and then fix my monitors. Oh no, I found a Starky on my screen. Dream Europe country to visit, though. I would like to visit, see Switzerland. No gremlin time. Twitch is cool. I never knew I could watch people draw, let alone fluffy, nice, and kind people. I'm back. But no, Twitch is a great place to be. Or at the very least, like, the people you will find on Twitch are great. Twitch as a platform has its issues. But we don't got to talk about that now. Are we doing this? You don't gotta do it, chat. You don't gotta do this to me, you know. We could just have peace. We could just be kind to each other. We could be understanding. You don't gotta throw Pikmin at me until I die. It's like not.
Wretch, we're the wretch.
Father, I crave cheddar.
Crisp, I can get you some cheddar, but I'm currently being beaten to death by Pikmin, so that might take a hot minute. You know, who knows when chat's gonna like, you know, revive me after they kill me to death with Pikmin. I need to contact my family to see if they can help me with the security deposit. I'm currently fighting my previous landlord for my security deposit. Alright, I have been killed. But you know, Twitch as a platform, the people on Twitch are great. The platform itself, significantly, significant issues, shall we say. Starky, guess what? What? Thought you were only seeing 3 streams, the cat guys, in the short time I was sent over to Marcy during a raid, and you. Well, there's the great thing about Twitch. No matter how specific your interests might be, almost certainly you will find someone on Twitch that has, like, you know, a shared interest. Because there are so many people on Twitch. Like, I'm following, like, 4 digits worth of people, like, at least 1,000 people, most of which are furry streamers, and I still am not following, like, a substantial number of them. Twitch as a platform is about as good as Piper Alpha? What is Piper Alpha? I fed your shirt to the Pikmin redeem so we have more Pikmin to eat at you. You know how expensive those lab coats are? Pikmin are cheap. Lab coats are expensive. Pikmin literally grow on the ground. But now the Pikmin will be smart? That's an interesting idea. I hadn't thought about that. We must study the impact of the various nutrition types on Pikmin. Piper Alpha was an oil rig platform that exploded and burnt down in the North Sea in the 1980s. Oh my god. Yeah, this is starting to come together. You Twitch chat, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on landlords? We hate them, we dislike them, we're neutral about them, we like them, we love them. If anyone says we love, that's a ban. No wonder Bethesda named Piper Piper. Piper Piper no Sharingan, Sharingan no Gurindai, Gurindai no Ponpokopi no Ponpoko no Chokame no Chosuke. I'm sorry, that I fucking activated like the sleeper agent part of my brain that knows the Rakugo story for that. I have the ending bit of it like relatively solidly in my pronunciation grasp. Specifically, there's the Surikire Kaijari Suigyo Matsu Uramatsu. That's the part I always struggle with. Can't wait to force you to watch Akane Banashi next season. What's Akane Banashi? Welcome on in, Namori. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. Landlords are not as cool as the Fire Lords, the Water Lords, and the Air Lords. The Rakugo manga. Check Polestar Key. Who are we banning? Which one of you motherfuckers said we love them? Come on, fess up. But no, hopefully y'all are having a wonderful Friday. Currently, we're trying to draw a little rock golem creature. Like, who chooses to be Lord of Dirt? I mean, listen, don't say that. You'll get tough stands angry. Earthbenders are a perfectly valid, you know, preference. To be fair, earthbending is probably like the most practical of the bending styles in terms of like day-to-day life. No tops is obviously the Melon Lord. The Landlord gives me free. Absolutely not. Waterbending all the way. Well, like earthbending just makes like it just trivializes the cost of labor in terms of like housing production. The story explain why normal people can only bend one element. I don't know. I'm not a Avatar: The Last Airbender lore expert. Where's Draco when you need him? Waterbending very much does have its utilities too, though. I will accept that as like a very, very close second. Airbending and firebending is more niche. I guess to be fair, firebending would allow for like it would solve the energy crisis. But airbending, you know, I don't know. In Legend of Korra, it's explained. It's something to do with like the like ancient spirits, right? Does it have something to do with the angry rug that kills people, and the good rug that prevents the angry rug from killing people? The Starky qualifies as water since he's goo. I need to know if I can water bend him. I wouldn't be water bendable, but I would be metal bendable, funnily enough. Waterbenders can bend mud. That implies firebenders can bend lava. Interesting.
Hi.
Welcome on, Ocean. I'm glad to have you, Sweet Bean.
Hi.
Because technically, Starky is metal nanomachine goo. I would be weak to I would be weak to metal benders. That's also an earthbender skill in Korra. I mean, I guess it would be necessarily it would be feasible to have firebenders be able to bend lava. Two cybernetic arms and a leg. Airbenders can also literally take your breath away. Conclusion, Keanu Reeves is an airbender. Oh my god. Well, my son does. We all have metals in our body. I mean, isn't that like that's one of those things where it's like, if you know, like, assuming you're okay with doing truly horrifying shit to the human body, a lot of the bending stuff actually ends up being like extremely body horror potential. And to be fair, that is kind of the crux of one of the enemies from JoJo Part 5 with Metallica, where he basically bends the fucking iron out of your blood and into your body. Really skilled firebenders can bend lightning, powers electricity generators in Korra's timeline. I remember hearing about that. Which is, it is one of those things that I've heard arguments about like how that kind of applies in the greater canonicity, because isn't it implied that like you need to have access to some amount of like the ability to channel lightning as a firebender is associated with some amount of like sociopathic tendencies? Because the only people we see do it are Azula and the Fire Lord Ozai. Like, those are the only two people we see do that, so. Why do you want to shred me so bad? Sometimes you just gotta shred your friends. Iroh is capable. To be fair, Iroh became incapable as soon as his son died. Like, we don't see Iroh use lightning bending, even though it would be a genuinely useful skill to have. Presumably because in that moment, he, like, gained, like, a better understanding of emotions. Hence why he needs to use the Water Tribe's technique of, like, channeling the lightning that other people have bent. Is Magneto an earthbender? In some sense. He didn't use it because it's too deadly. I mean, doesn't that kind of prove my point, though? That, like, there needs to be some amount of, like, psychopathic tendencies to, like, you know. Apparently Nintendo is suing the US government. They've been teasing Azula redemption arc for way too long. Since bending is lineage based, how prevalent do you think eugenics is in the Avatar universe? Isn't that the crux of the genocide that happens at the beginning of Avatar: The Last Airbender? Is that they kill all of the airbenders because that's going to be the next, where the next bender is from. She did get redeemed in the comics. Airbenders? Yeah, the air nomads. Like like Fire Lord is Ozai killed all of them because he wanted to prevent the next airbender from being, you know, the next airbending you know, the next airbending avatar from being born. Or it wasn't Ozai, it was his father. He could use it, he chooses not to. He killed them all in vain. That's the saddest part. But it is like a point in the idea that like there is some amount of like eugenics consideration in the world of Avatar: The Last Airbender. Yeah, I think this is going well, actually. Also, yeah, there's a fuck ton of like extended Avatar: The Last Airbender lore in the comics. I'm aware of it, but I have not engaged at all with it, so. But yeah, the real bending limits to bending is creativity. Well, yeah, creativity and also willingness to do truly awful shit to your fellow humans. And arthritis. No music requests today? No, we have music requests. Oh, I just didn't put them in the... That's right. And non-humans, look at the Moonkiller Zhao. Fun fact, Starky is the same texture and taste as Vegemite. Because the latest comic software sets Azula's arc. To some degree, it's like... I feel like very very few pieces of media I think actually do like a genuine like redemption arc properly. Because a lot of the times it's like one and done, as opposed to like, you know, actually looking and examining and understanding the like underlying, you know, issues, and understanding that like there will be times where like the coping techniques fail, where the support structures fail, and the person might, you know, return to patterns of behavior that are problematic still. So I almost wonder if it's like one of those things where it's like it's soft reset, but only insofar as that like Azula's not doing so well. Because like that's, you know, that tends to be how humans actually like engage with and like come to terms and better themselves. Is that like it, you know, you choose to do something that improves your life and makes you a happier person, but to do so requires active effort until the point where it becomes habit, at which point it becomes passive effort. The redemption isn't when you start doing good things. The redemption is when you're able to, you know, not, the redemption is when things move to the point where you aren't, you know, doing bad things casually. In Nick Magazine comic, oddly said they can't bend gas, so a bender who keeps a jar of that natural gas that kills you instantly and turns silver black could be used as an airbender assassin to simulate a natural death. If it tarnishes silver, it's probably sulfur dioxide. Because sulfur is one of the few things that can actually tarnish silver. Sorry, autocorrect. But no, like that. It is kind of funny because I do know that off the top of my head, because my brother is writing a book series, and that ends up being kind of a relevant detail, because it is a funny quirk that brimstone, i.e. sulfur, is one of the few things that can tarnish silver. Sorry, autocorrect. All good. Also, an airbender, earthbender, or waterbender could create zombies by filling a corpse with either dirt or water. Made a group of OCs that used magic based on the 5 Chinese elements, and having to stop and think is what counted what, and what can be used as, to make what is confusing but a fun experience. The 5 Chinese elements are air, water, earth, fire, and metal. Right? Those are the 5. It's metal is the addition compared to the traditional like 4 elements of you know, Western mythology. No? Water, wood, fire, metal, and earth. Oh. So swap out the air for wood, and then add metal. Also, firebenders can straight up generate explosions. Bending is wacky. Yeah, the explosion benders. Maybe explosion benders are the one I was thinking of. That like there's the implication that in order to do it, you have to be like some flavor of sociopath. Do you think it spread Sturgis nanomachines on toast like Vegemite? I like to think that if you tried to, they would just spontaneously generate into a borb. I want to put tiny hats on all of them. We just keep it on hand a very, very wide variety of hats for the various borbs, so we can tell them apart. That's kind of a cute idea, actually. What if a borb got stuck in a popcorn machine? It would just kind of like... I very much think of the borbs as having cartoon physics. So like it would just kind of like bounce around like a bouncy ball. Explosion benders are assassin group, I believe. They all have that tattoo, so somehow the tattoo is part of the process. The origin of combustion bending is actually tragic and gruesome. It was detailed in the Yang Chen novels. Yeah, that's right. There's something about Yang Chen's hatred of combustion benders. Doesn't Yang Chen also like scream so loud she detonates someone's head using airbending? Reminder, Kyoshi lived to be over 200 years because she's built different. That's a Mortal Kombat character. Also, the fact airbenders can cut metal, it's a good thing that they were all pacifists. Airbenders are probably the most powerful benders. They could generate storms, fly, bend clouds. A group of them could prevent rainfall. They say, you know what? Fuck you. You're not getting any rain. There are firebenders who literally put in an airtight container and then put in the ocean, so most either suffocate or drown if they can't escape. Water can cut metal IRL, by the way. Oh, I know. I mean, that is a thing that they try to do in Avatar. It just like is less efficient, given the fact that I imagine probably in part because they knew kind of what to do, but they weren't doing so in an efficient method. Hmm. Okay, we're making progress. Is going to prison for at least 20 years of mass murder and crimes against humanity. Listen, those are chart. You can't prove shit. Also, the facts. Ong went berserk in the desert and against Ozai. If any other previous bender was in Ozai's place, it probably wouldn't have been a bloodbath. Oh, absolutely. Oh, hell yeah, it's a fucking banger. I still stand by the fact that I genuinely do think Silk Song had a better OST than Clair Obscur. If we're talking about like single songs, I think Clair Obscur has it. But in terms of like the overall OST, I think Clair Obscur's is better, or Silk Song's is better. Get into Avatar because the magic element is cool. Walk away from it with the intimate understanding of various torture techniques. Welcome on Cyberventure. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. Also, I think if Avatar used all the bending techniques and the additional blood, metal explosion, etc., like that would be nuts. Imagine if any flung metal buckshot instead of puddles, or instead of pebbles. Oh, for sure. To be fair, that like at some point there does like begin to approach the element of power creep. What the fuck? What is this? Are telling me teaches mercy, Avatar teaches kindness. This is a weird remix. Kids Media used to be awesome. Avatar, Teen Titans, the Batman. You could leave with lessons. Last one I saw, last of that lessons I saw was Steven Universe. Well, it's because like most. I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of kids stuff ended up moving online. What is happening? Am I in the wrong? Oh, it's because it only applies. I see. This is Final Fantasy, right? Final Fantasy 14? Yep. Lesbian theme? What? No, Teen Go. I sat down with my little brothers and put on the OG series. They loved it so much they stole my Teen Titans box set. And they were roommates. I'm assuming that this is the theme of a specific set of characters in Final Fantasy 14. Sure, we never got season 4, but to be honest, they were some things are better ended. Yeah. And they're cousins? Oh, come on, Casper. How's good on you, sweet bean? Also, welcome on in Turvy. Can we get a shout for Turvy? I'll play Final Fantasy 10 and 10 2. I played a little bit of Final Fantasy 10 and 10 2, and that's the extent of my knowledge of any Final Fantasy thing. Both of them are teenagers. Welcome on the Turvy. How you doing, you sweet bean? Is the theme of Eden version of Shiva? Welcome on in, Shark. Welcome on in, Sharktastic. How you doing, you sweet bean? We love my little lesbabs. Okay. Wait, so it's the theme of Shiva? It was just the Turvy. It was BGM plays originally just Shiva, then remixed into a fight related to the girls. That turns in fight related to the girls that turn into Shiva. Then this song you're hearing now remixes the high-end difficulty encounter. Oh, so like there's a unique remix for like the like because I know that there's like I don't remember the terminology, but like mythic raids, like the higher difficulty, you know, the like, you know, it's the same boss but just with presumably attacks faster, and you know the you know the gimmick for dodging ends up being more specific. My only fad knowledge I picked up is edgy plus big swords equals powerful, and if you use a Phoenix Stone on an undead enemy, it instantly kills them, including bosses. Huh. That's really funny, actually. I didn't know that bit. In Final Fantasy XIV, I will call it as a boss rush with no checkpoints. This plays on the Ultimate version. That was what the censorship decided on a canonical lesbian couple in Sailor Moon by making Uranus and Neptune into cousins, despite their using scenes of them being more than intimate. I suppose that's fair. Okay, I think I'm relatively happy with how this is turning out. Little creature, little creature man, little creature goblin creature. Oh, sorry, we're in for W. It's all good. I understand that. I understand that Final Fantasy XIV players are very passionate. Let's see. Layer mask, mask outside. Nope. Layer mask, mask selection. Perfect. Ass selection. Welcome on in, Sig. You're glad I was weaving. No, not ass selection, mask selection. Although ass selection would be kind of nice, I'm not gonna lie. I just realized Golem from Ark, my beloved. Well, it's not necessarily a rock from a specific. Wait, is that what this this is a reference? Is this the Golem from Ark? Because this is. So this is I have the redeem called Orbify, which is basically a draw your persona as an orb. But this is for a rock golem who from a friend. So I'm not quite like, you know, did I learn that Bad Dragon outbid Cult of the Lamb for the mechanical rhino that anally birthed Jim Carrey? Hey, what the fuck? What the fuck is that sentence? That's the golem from Ark. There's also like a boss version. Good to know. That ended up in my friend's Telegram chat. Okay. Start with this. I guess to be fair, start with the darker colors, and then we can paint up from there. So did you ever watch Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls? No. I know about it. I'm aware of it, but nothing specific, unfortunately. Dildyard, Jim Carrey's anally birthed from a robot rhino. Fascinating. Horrifying, but fascinating. For reasons not explained in the film, it gets stuck inside, and the only way out is... Oh my god. Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about right for a Jim Carrey thing. I guess to be fair, like, you know, I can't kink shame too much. Because I'm sure someone's into that. Golems and Ark are really OP. You can disguise themselves as rocks and throw boulders. You can ride them too. Ooh, interesting. But yeah, no, so this is the reference he gave me. So I'm kind of because like it's his tabletop RPG character. So I'm trying to you know, I'm trying to do it justice. Because this is also a character that I'm very, very aware of, because I've played with it a lot, or played with him as this character a lot. This Persona music will make me cry. It was a Trojan horse robot. He was after poachers, but it got hot inside and he had to get out. Oh, that makes sense. Also, golems and Ark are fleshy under the stone. That makes sense. Yeah, you can see meat between the rocks if you look closely. A group of tourists watch him crawl out of the crack too. Uh, what a simple time life used to be, to where you could just crawl out of a, you know, you'd crawl out of a mechanical bull's asshole. I don't know where I'm going with this bit. Huh? Yes, please. The tourists think it's giving birth to, and like just a guy walks out. I feel like if that happened in like the early days, someone would start a religion based around that. Like if that was like the prehistoric time, someone would start a religion around that. Jim Carrey is naked due to overheating inside the suit, and Regal's free as if he was emerging from one of those cramped cave holes. Yeah, Spelunkers, I'll be honest with you, Spelunkers, like, why? Why do Spelunkers spelunk? I need an answer. I'm skipping this. I'm so over this. Oh my fucking god. I've made a mistake. Ring, 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 banana phone. Do, 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 ring, dong, ring, 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 banana phone. It's this feeling. It's so appealing. And sing, sing. Ring, 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 banana phone. Did anyone else watch the Ed's World video of this? About the guy going crazy because he can't stop hearing banana phone? Remember Ed's World? I was like to leave the cave dive to fight dragons, but they will never find them. I use fake rocks. Welcome on in, Sumek. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. Funnily enough, this is like, I feel like this song has aged relatively well. Like, of all of the meme songs, I feel like this one has aged, like, extraordinarily well. I interpreted it the wrong way, and now I'm imagining a dragon critiquing another living space and judging them for not using authentic rocks for their cave. Never mind. I spoke too early. I mean, okay, that's... I mean, to be fair, it's not necessarily that bad. I... Play you a shmup favorite. I actually feel like I did a good job with the rock texturing on this. Oh my god. Penelope. 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 I'm supposed to choose a suitor to wear the crown. I said I would choose as soon as I weave this shroud. They don't know that every night I unthread all the work I've done, 'cause I'd rather die. Oh no, it's a lie. They won. Oh, I never thought that it was going to this. Just know I'll be here. But I don't know how much longer we'll last if we saw that storm. And though it was so close to our kingdom, it was far from the norm. Unless, oh, could it be some kind of sign that our world is all about to change? Is it finally time? Thank you for the same reminder. So I never thought that it would come to this. Just know I'll be here buying you time. I'll buy you time. Whoever can restring my husband's old bow and shoot through 12 axe heads cleanly will be the new king. Sit down at the throne and rule with me as his queen. Let the arrow fly. Don't you know that your aim is true? 'Cause I'd rather die than go out without the best of you. I think this turned out really relatively well, actually. That it would end like this. Just know I'll be here. Waiting, waiting. Oh shoot, that fucking copied onto the line art layer. There we go. It needs to be its own layer. Is this Phoenix? As soon as I heard Germany to restore its glory, I'm like, is this the fucking producers? I have to explain the producers to people now. So, to explain to people who aren't aware of very early musical theater, I need a... In time for Hitler and Germany. For context, The Producers is, I believe, a comedy musical about a group of producers that do not want to be producing musicals, and so they put together the worst musical possible, which is a musical about Hitler. It's not a documentary. It's not. This is Mel Brooks, right? Mel Brooks was the one who wrote this. Very very well known, significant figure in the Jewish Hollywood community, Mel Brooks. BJ Blazkowicz. I need to contextualize that for why this is, I'm allowing this. Welcome on in, Kenny. Oh, you joined just. We're clearing all the dungeons. Welcome on in. We're actually probably going to be wrapping up here shortly. Because I got this. I'm currently explaining to chat what The Producers is. I've been stun locked because I need to explain to chat what The Producers is. That. I'm not fucking up the plot, right? Hold up. Let me look up the plot synopsis. So this was written by Mel Brooks. Where's the short version of the plot? The plot is simple. A down on his luck Broadway producer and his mild-mannered accountant come up with a scheme to produce the most notorious flop in history, thereby bilking their backers, all little old ladies, out of millions of dollars. One thing goes awry. The show is a smash hit. They're trying to make a musical that fails so they can keep the investor money. They must sell 500% investments on the backers. Yeah, they're trying to commit fraud on old people, so they make the Twitch mods of your personal FBI viewing this be like, and to be fair, this is like, it's really funny because Mel Brooks is like genuinely one of the like sweetest people. And there was apparently a like, there was a like debut of his work at the Kennedy Center. And it was very clear who understood Mel Brooks as a person and who didn't, because this song was included on the list of things played at the Kennedy Center. This is 8 minutes? This song is 8 minutes? But yeah, no, this...
What does this button do? Please, please, do not push the
like, that's honestly kind of impressive. Oh my god. My partner gets mad at how much I blast this music. I'm gonna be honest with you, I can kind of understand why. Jesus fucking Christ. Achievement unlocked. My fucking mental breakdown. So give the outline a small white border. Like a sticker. Oh, I see where you're kind of coming from here. He looks like a fetus now. it is fascinating. Reality is fascinating, isn't it? My dog near me, my dog near the music, now he's... Is at least a viable one is a fucking wild question to ask in the chat. Oh, wait, are you saying to give the little guy? Are you? Oh, you're saying to give the little guy. I see now. Okay, it genuinely does hit the level of absurdity. I am losing my mind. I want you to understand the depths of my, like, mind destruction that's happening right now. This is not her baby. This is not cats or baby shark. I think I would rather take a cat song over this. I've not listened to any cat songs, so I might be making a mistake there by making that assertion so casually. Oh, that's not a challenge. I'm so sorry that you raided into this, Kenny. You alerted the horde. This is god tier rating. Hopefully you had fun with the stream, though. Oh my god. Okay, here. One last thing we gotta do, which is add the signature. Oh, hold up, I fucked it up.
Rats, we're rats, we're the rats.
What's up, Crisp?
I am gonna lose a finger to this peeler, I just can't.
Have you considered just being better? It wants me to peel towards my fingers. I mean, that's how I peel potatoes. Because I was used to working with a like kind of a rusty, not so good peeler. But yeah, there it is. There's this little creature done. Here, now I just got to export it. I need to export probably a couple of versions. Like one with the kind of background. Okay, and then we just need a one. Go ahead and get one for you that's without the it doesn't have the signature, so that way you can use it for your profile picture. I gotta go. Have a good one, Bourbon. Watch out for the clear glass. I will. I appreciate that. Have a wonderful evening. Thanks for stopping by. All right. Almost done. We just have, let me go ahead and export the time lapse real quick. Probably get away with 30 seconds for that one. One for the road, one pet for the road. But yeah, no, when it comes to peelers like that, you just kind of like, basically don't like pull with all your force. You're basically doing a slow pull. Like that's your aim with that stuff. All right, perfect. I think this is a good time to stop. Starky, this is cool. Look, one in Kilo. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. Actually, Kilo, yeah, you look. The rock golem is complete. The creature. I will pass this to you right after stream cam. But no, thank you for hanging out. We are going to be wrapping up now. All right, let's see who's live so we can raid out. Let's see. I have way too many windows open. That's the one. Thanks for stream. I'm sorry, Kilo. I'm sorry. Yeah, wah, wah, wah. Let's just see whom's is live. I feel like I've been kind of slacking on making sure that I'm consistently able to go live on Fridays. So, you know, I see Rhythm is live. I see Ruxfell is live. I see Ray Poppin is live. Goodness gracious, there's a lot of people live right now. Brave, I know, is playing with Jame. Let's go right over to, you know what? Let's go right over to Coffee Collie. No Baby Shark this time. Thank you for the stream. Well, thank you for hanging out. Use my emotes or who's the emotes you happen to have. We're gonna read over to Coffee Collie. Hopefully, you guys have a good time watching the you know, the mental breakdown that was the last, you know, last 15 minutes or so. But yeah, if this is your first time, I'm StarkyMorph, big AKS creating internet, variety streamer live every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday from 7 to 10 p.m. EST. Mostly we play indie games, however, over the last 2 years, we've been learning art, so if you'd like to see that, feel free to stick around here, as well as to go give me a follow on Blue Skies. That is where I post art that I make, art that I get commissioned, general ramblings, all the good stuff, updates with the video essay. I will say I did manage to get more audio recording done on the video essay today. So I have all of the raw audio, I just need to go through and edit it, and then I can start actually editing the video together, which is the longest portion of the video creation process. Oh, God. But no, I have YouTube if you like to catch one of the VODs there, see what I've been up to. See, you know, the Dangan Run Pan streams on Tuesdays that we do with Marsh. You know, the mental breakdowns that happen there. Of course, we also have a Telegram. No, not Telegram. I do have a Telegram, but I don't have a Telegram chat yet. But no, if you would like to hop on over to the Discord, which we currently have, you know, assuming we don't need to you know, run from it anytime soon. And also a coffee sponsorship. If you'd like to pick up some Dragon Rose coffee with this discount code StarkyMorph for 10% off, help support the stream, get yourself some really good coffee. And I love you guys to bits. Thank you everyone for hanging out. Have a wonderful evening, and I will see you on Monday where we will be doing more art. I will probably either be doing character design or macro merch, and I will see you then. Bye!